it's MK and I am here with another Mixed Media Mayhem layout. The recipe is from our very own Sandy. I'm also combining this with 31 days of cut files, and this is the layout that I will be creating. It is by Kim Johnson Martin, and Sandy's recipe is to use metal, ink, and our favorite color. I have 4 photos that I am going to put down as my one photo on this layout. I also pulled out a stencil from Sandy's shop, Scrapping Reflections. I love this circle stencil, you guys. And then for my ink, I pulled out Distress Oxide in Speckled Egg, Distress Ink in Faded Jeans, and Distress Oxide in Hickory Smoke. So those are the inks that I pulled out. I will be using my blender brushes. For the metal pieces, I pulled out 5 brads. I know I can count. There's only 4 in my hand, but there is a 5th one, I promise. I have loads of scraps. One is a Chamel scrap, and the other one is from Close to My Heart, many moons ago. They just re-released that collection, by the way, but it's not available anymore either. And then from Pink Fresh, I think it's Pink Fresh, I have these label stickers, and then I also have, what is it? I'm looking for more label stickers. There they are. So I have those from a Pink Fresh collection, and then I have a, I'm not sure if this is Pink Fresh or not either, but I've been dying to use that puffy sticker, so I think I'm going to try to make it work on this layout. And then here from Some Days collection, yes, it is Pink Fresh, but this one is from Some Days, and it's just the die cut pieces. I have also this sticker sheet as well, but the first labels from Pink Fresh were not from Some Days, and this is the sticker sheet. I don't remember which collection those other labels came from. Sorry about that, but I do know they were Pink Fresh. From Vicky Boutin, I have these puffy stickers. They were one of the very first Vicky Boutin items I've ever received, and I'm having a hard time using them. So let's see if I can't get a couple on a layout. From Chamel Starshine, I have this beautiful cloud, which is the same as the striped paper. So let's see if I can use up this piece. And then from Heidi Swap, I have these chipboard stickers that I'm going to try to use. And then I have a dirty white cardstock. This is my cut file from Some Assemblage Required from the Cut File shop. And I just went ahead and I spray painted it, or I sprayed it. I didn't spray paint it, but technically I did, from Dina Wakley's gloss spray Medieval. So technically I did spray paint it. But it used to be white, and I turned it into a charcoal. I didn't really want it black, and I didn't want it gray. I definitely wanted it to be a little on the darker side. So what I did was I found this stencil being the absolute perfect size. No, this was not measured out. No, I did not plan this. This was an afterthought that I was going to ink the back of my paper that I'm going to glue the stencil or the cut file to. I just decided to ink it. So what I'm doing is I am taking Faded Jeans and putting it down at the bottom for my water. And then I have to tell you guys that my next 2 brushes are dirty because I don't wash my brushes, and I don't quite have a brush for every, what's it called? For every color. If I did that, I would need way more room for all the brushes. But here's where I'm starting to notice that this is Speckled Egg. Yeah, it's supposed to be blue. Supposed to be. It does not look like blue. And so what I do off camera is I go and I clean my brush really, really well. And now what I'm doing is just going over those brown spots to try to get some blue. And I really do like how this turns out in the end. But at first I was like, oh, I don't really like that. So my second brush, I decided to go ahead and get the brown out first. It didn't work. And this is supposed to be gray, but because they're mountains, I'm okay with a little bit of brown here and a little bit of brown there. But I just go over, because it's oxide ink, I'm just going to go over it again using the, using the gray color. So that way I get a good gray and a good black, brown going on. But yeah, I definitely do need to get brushes for every color. But you guys, I have so many colors and not just Tim Holtz colors. So do I get a color for every ink pad I own? How does that work? What do you guys do? So anyways, now that I have splattered it in the white Dina Wakley gloss spray, I'm going to cover up, use the rest of the circles in the stencil set to cover up what I just did, and then splatter my entire layout with the medieval gloss spray from Dina Wakley. So that is my background. I'm super stoked with it. Next, I'm going to go ahead and use some liquid glue to put my my stencil, or my, how am I keep calling it a stencil, my cut file down. Now I am going to take my cut file and I have to manipulate it. I did not realize that I know, this is gross. And I'm sorry, you guys, but I have Band-Aids on my left hand. My work is very dangerous. And so I ended up cutting myself, and I did not realize that it was soaking into, I didn't realize I got it wet somehow, and it was soaking into my cut file. So I am just now manipulating the cut file to try to make sure that it covers up the circle that I just created on my background page. Was there other ways that I could have done this? Absolutely. Yes, there was. But I chose to do it this way because it was something new for me. I also like how I have that aurora skyline going on in the back, which was totally unplanned, but I do like how that looks. All right, so I took this cloud paper and made a photo mat. I trimmed my 4x6 photos down to a little bit smaller. I think it's 2.5 by 3.25 are my photo sizes. So I have one ginormous photo mat. I don't hardly ever do this, you guys, but because it was the same the same mountain range all 4 times, along with I'm driving down the same road, so it's 4 different sections of the same road. I thought, oh, it's perfect. I will just go ahead and trim them all down, and I'll still get the effect of, taking the scenic route home, right? And then I fussy cut out all those clouds. So I ended up using every bit of this paper except for those tiny little striped pieces up at the top left corner, because I thought that I was going to be able to maybe use those as a tuck-in feature or something else. Now, here's where I wanted to tuck my clouds behind my big ring, and then I realized that, oh, that's part of my layout. I cannot do that. So I'll have to figure out how to make that work later. And then I'm going to take all of my label pieces and make sure that they all have homes. And I'm going to go through all of my embellishments and pick out all the ones that I want to use. Now, from these Pink Fresh stickers and die cuts and all that stuff, I don't pick out a whole lot, but there were some things that I wanted to make sure ended up on the layout because they were just perfect for a non-subject-y layout. Absolutely perfect. I mean, there is no rhyme or reason or anything on why I took these photos. It was just we decided to take the long way home from a vacation that we took back in 2021. I can't even tell you where we were coming from. I just know that I really enjoyed seeing the mountains. Now, we live just on the other side of the base of those mountains, so we still had to get to the other side. But yeah, we were just headed home and headed towards those mountains, and we just kept getting closer to them and closer to them. And I thought it was the neatest thing ever, which I didn't even realize that we could do because the only time I've ever taken this road is at night. I never realized that I could see this side of the mountains if I took this road home, in the daylight. So it was a great adventure for me. I went ahead and I left the branding strip on this on the striped paper so that way I could use it in all 3 of my clusters. So my photo cluster is one cluster, and then I've got another cluster up in the upper right hand corner, and then on the diagonal down in the lower left corner. And I'm just using I'm using the sketch from Kim to decide where my placement is going to go. And that's it. That is basically where everything is coming from, is this sketch. She had something in the upper right, something at the bottom of the photo, and then the lower left. And then, of course, this beautiful circle. And so I took her layout and I ran with it, really. This label was absolutely perfect to cover up all of that orange because I really did not want to bring in another color on this layout. And so that label fit perfect. Oh my gosh, I was so excited when I was able to cover up every single one of the colors. And I was tickled pink. Well, not pink, but I was tickled that I was able to get all that. Now, the blue hearts and the blue circle from the Vicki Boutin puffy sticker sheet was definitely too blue, but because I had them in all 3 clusters, I think it works. I really think that it is okay to have that blue. So I'm at the end of my bottle, so I fight with it a little bit to get some of it to go. I'm very meticulous when it comes to throwing out a glue bottle. I have to make sure that it is completely empty. Now, off camera, I went and put all my brads down. Now, what I do, which I don't understand just yet why I do this, but I take the prongs off sometimes, and sometimes I'll poke them all the way through. This time, I took the prongs off and added a very low profile foam sticker behind them. So that way I am able to just pop them on the page because I didn't really know where I wanted to put these brads. So I made sure that I popped them off. Well, I did it one at a time. It was a pull the prongs off, put the sticker on, glue it down. And so I fast forwarded that really fast. And that's how we ended up with the close-ups. So that is my layout for today. I really am very happy with how it looked. I cannot thank Sandy enough for this recipe. At first it seemed challenging, especially when I've thought about what my favorite color is, because normally I would have reached for greens, but this is definitely an aqua color that leads towards a green. Kim, thank you so much for your layout. I absolutely loved it. Be sure to check out everyone else down below. And here are 2 more mixed media layouts or videos for you guys. And thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you later. Bye.